According to Facebook, having a video in your Facebook post will generate a whopping 100% more engagement than just a plain text post. Your website is 53% more likely to appear on the first page of Google if you have a video on it. Now, these are just two of a bazillion different reasons why you need to use videos in your marketing efforts if you aren't already doing so. See, over the past few years, online video has grown from being a cool tool to a must-have tool for online marketers. Your site visitors do not simply enjoy the videos, they expect them. Now, I don't have fancy cameras or tons of filming equipment, so how can I make a great video? Luckily, these are not required to make a video that will rocket your website to page 1 of the search engines or get loads of free traffic to your offers. The first step in your video creation process is to decide, what do you want the message of your video to be? Are you training? Are you selling? Or just looking to show off the cutest puppies in the whole world? Well, thanks to the internet and some free tools you can get from a simple Google search, you can do any or all three. Now, what I'm talking about here is screencasting. Screencasting is basically capturing your computer screen or parts of it, and the output or outcome of this screen capture is a video. Now, how fancy your video ends up being depends on the software and or the methods that you use in your screencasting. Technically, there are many different elements that make up a great screencast video. Bumpers, zooming in and out or not zooming at all, cursor movement, and so on. But it all boils down to video content and audio content and the quality of both. Of these, in my opinion, the audio quality is the most important because you can almost get away with a very bad quality video if the audio quality is perfect. But if you have the perfect video quality and the audio quality is terrible, then you can pretty well bet that most people will tune out of that video very quickly. Now, in order to get the high quality audio required for a good video, you need to begin with the proper microphone. Now, there are many options out there when it comes to buying a microphone, but the bottom line is that you should be looking for a USB microphone and not the type with the small pointy type of connector like what you would plug into your cell phone. Now, the cost of these USB microphones can be just a few bucks, like $10 or so, to several $100s. But I've gotten great audio recordings from mics in the $10 to $20 range. But remember this though, as soon as you can, you should upgrade to the best quality mic your budget will allow for. Now, the rest of your screencasting equipment is that free stuff I was talking about earlier that can be found from a simple Google search. Now, you can use something like Google Drive to create slide presentations. Here, let me show you what I'm talking about. I've already logged into my Google account here, and up here at the top, right there, that's the guy I'm referring to, Google Drive. And you come over here to create, click on presentation, and it's just like PowerPoint slide or the equivalent in something like OpenOffice. But this doesn't cost you anything and you don't have to download anything. It's right there on your Google account. And I've already done one here as an example and titled it My Awesome Video Slide. So we'll open that up. And this is it. Now, just as an example, let's say that your marketing video is on a product that you're creating or have created, and it's an ebook. What you can do is just take snippets from that ebook and make your slides or your script, or you can just write out the script, totally up to you. But what you would then do is you would take little bits of that script and put on each slide. You don't want to burden the slide here with a whole bunch of text. Matter of fact, even better yet, you may want to summarize that paragraph into a couple of sentences. Then you would read that paragraph while showing this one slide. That way it may not come across as if you were just simply reading the text off of the slide. Some people don't like that, some people it doesn't matter, but that's just another idea. The bottom line here though is that once you have a presentation created of a whole bunch of slides, you just select each slide individually, come up here to File, go to Download As, choose whichever image format you prefer. I would go with a JPEG myself. Then you just download each one of those slides in an image format to your computer. And what you can do now is create the audio. You could use something like Audacity. It's completely free. I'm not sure if they have an option for Macs or not. I'm a Windows kind of person, so I'm not sure. And once you have this downloaded and installed, this is what it looks like here. You've got your pause, play, stop, and your record button. What you could do is just open this up, hit record, then you just start reading from that script that you created those slides from. Come on up here to File, click on export. This is grayed out because they don't have anything in there. But whenever you click on export, it will export in as a WAV file, and then you can use a program like Windows Movie Maker, or if you're on a Mac, I believe the equivalent is iMovie if I'm not mistaken, and you then import each one of those images as well as that WAV file. Then you just sync that WAV file, the audio portion of your video, so that it matches with each one of these slides. Come on up here to this button here, click on Save Movie, then you select the option that's best for what you are wanting, and there's your video. Now sure, there are more detailed steps involved, but for the most part, these are the basic steps you can take to create your marketing video, with the only expense being for your microphone. And remember, the more videos like this that you make, the more shortcuts you're going to discover, and the better your end product will be. And remember, practice makes perfect. That's going to bring us to the end of this video on the basic makings of a marketing video. On my short list of awesome free screen recording programs is my favorite, called Jing. Jing is created by the people that created Camtasia Studio. Jing allows you to take screenshots and screencasts of your computer screen. Now you can create screencast videos up to 5 minutes in length and save them and your screenshot images to your computer, or have them uploaded to your free Screencast.com online storage account. Now you can get Jing at techsmith.com/jing.html, and for more information on your free Screencast.com online storage, you can go to screencast.com/help. And here you're going to find out all kinds of information about setting up, configuring, and customizing your Screencast.com account. Now you've got up to 2 gigabytes of free storage and 2 gigabytes of monthly bandwidth on your free account. And you can toggle back and forth between the free account and the pro account to increase the monthly bandwidth or storage as the need arises. Now, to take more advantage of your free account without having to go into a pro account if you don't want to, is you can kind of keep things cleared out of your storage space here on your free account by just keeping those items stored on your computer in what's called the history section of your Jing account. And I'll show you that here in just a second. Matter of fact, let's head on back over to Jing right now. And let's say you've got this downloaded and installed. Once you do that, it's going to pop this little sun looking thing up onto the top center of your computer screen. Now you can left click, hold, and drag this guy around to wherever you want on the edges of your computer monitor, either the top or the bottom, the left or the right side. The only place I found this does not stick is in the corners. And by the way, there's plenty of tutorials here on the Jing site that covers in-depth details on how you can get the most out of your Jing software. But if you come up here and we click on capture, you get these little crosshairs that come up. Let's left click, hold, and drag your mouse to where you want to capture, be it a video or an image. And whatever you end up capturing is going to be stored in the history. Let's go and X out of this. And that history is going to be found right here. Now, getting back to the taking advantage of your free account at Screencast.com is you can delete the captures from your Screencast.com account, so you're not taking up all the storage space there until you need that particular image or video, at which time you come over here to the history section and just click on that, locate the video or the image capture that you want to share, and then you just click on the image, click on the share icon here, and then it will upload it to your Screencast.com account at that point. Then you can share it and then just delete it from your Screencast.com whenever you're done sharing it. That's one way to go. If you find the need to have those shares a little more longer lasting, then you might find the need to go pro. And this $100 a year for the pro account is a great deal if you want to go that route, because in addition to the increased amount of storage space and monthly bandwidth, you're also allowed to brand background templates with your company logo and a specific color scheme, something that you're not able to do here with a free account. So there are additional advantages to going pro besides just the increase in storage and monthly bandwidth. But let's head on over to our Jing software and take a look at what happens whenever we capture something. Again, we just click on that first link there that pops out and just select the area that we want to capture. And if we want to capture this as a video, we click on this. Or if we want to capture this as an image, we click on this. And let's say we're clicking on the video and we're about a minute into our 5-minute limit, and we figure out that we just screwed something up, but we want to keep this same area. We can click on this redo button and it will keep this same area intact. It'll just start the video over again. And if you decide that this is not the area that you want to capture, then you can just click on this here to cancel the whole thing out. But Let's go ahead and capture this as an image and show you some more of the formatting options that are available to you here. You can change the color, you can highlight, you can frame something in, you can add text or arrows, all kinds of cool stuff here. Title it any way that you want. If you have the Snagit software, which is a kind of like Jing only on steroids, and this does cost you as well, but you're able to edit this using Snagit. You can also edit this using Camtasia Studio if you have that particular software. But these buttons here allow you to either upload it directly to your Screencast.com account, you can save it to your computer, you can copy it, or you can cancel the whole thing out. Now here's something that's pretty cool too. You can even customize the Jing buttons here. Click on this guy, click on New, and this is where you can either upload it to a YouTube account and it will add the YouTube button here, or Twitter, or Facebook, or Flickr, FTP, and so on. And again, there's plenty of tutorials at the Help Center for Jing that will walk you through this entire process. And let's go ahead and cancel this out here. And coming back up here to our little sun guy, we've covered the history, we've covered the capture, and right here, the third guy under More. This allows us to customize things a little bit, where you can go here to Preferences, and you can customize those buttons like I just showed you, where you can select a particular audio input. So if you have several different microphones attached, you want a particular one for your Jing, this is where you can go. You want to launch Jing on startup, you check that box. You want to hide the little Jing sun, you can do that by clicking that little box there. And for the free Jing, you've got the video output as SWF. Now if you want more options, maybe you want to save this as an MP4 or an AVI, then you're going to have to upgrade to either Snagit or to the Camtasia Studio software. And then once you're done with this, you can come over here and click on Finish, or if you're done with Jing altogether, you can just come over here and click on Exit Jing. You'll get this little pop-up here, and yes, bye-bye Jing. And that's going to bring us to the end of this video on an introduction to Jing. Thank you very much for watching, and you have a great day. Cam Studio is a free or open source program that you download to your computer, and with it you can record both the activity and audio of your computer. It works great for creating videos for support issues, frequently asked questions, product demonstrations, and my favorite, video-based information products that you can sell. Did I mention Cam Studio is free? Cam Studio is not Camtasia Studio. They are nowhere near related to one another except the closeness of the name. Cam Studio is only a recorder, where Camtasia Studio is both a recorder and an awesome editor, but it is going to set you back about $300. And oh, by the way, Cam Studio is free. In this video, I'm going to go over some of the basic settings to get you on your way to recording your videos with Cam Studio. Now, there are a ton of different settings you can adjust to your specific needs, so my goal here is to point you in the right direction if you want to deviate from any of the settings that I'm going to show you here in this video. So let's get to work. Now first off, there's a couple of things you need to download. Number one, you need to download Cam Studio, and you can get that from camstudio.org. But before you get there, I want you to first download this free codec. Now what a codec is, it's kind of like a zip program for videos. Without using a codec, the raw video that you're recording, for say a 30-second video, might end up being somewhere around, let's say 200 gigabytes. It's a bit of an exaggeration, but bear with me here. With the codec, that same video, without reducing the quality whatsoever, might be 2 megabytes. Yeah, that big of a reduction. Again, a bit of an exaggeration, but I think you get my point. So with the proper codec, you're going to have the same quality video at the end, only it's going to be much smaller in file size. Now there's a ton of different codecs out there you can choose, so I would say if you're open to suggestions, I would go with FFD Show, and you can get that at sourceforge.net/projects/FFD Show, and it is free, so don't worry about it. Come on in here, download this, install it, and you'll probably have to reboot your computer for it to show up inside of your Cam Studio software. So once you got this out of the way, come on back over here to Cam Studio, scroll on down the page here a bit, and of course read all that stuff. And this first green button is the one you want to download your Cam Studio software. At this point, it's version 2.7. Now you'll probably see this guy right here. It's another codec that is suggested by Cam Studio, but I'm suggesting that you don't use this one. It's totally up to you. I've never used this, so I can't speak personally about how good or not good it is, because you see, Cam Studio comes with a limit of 2 gigabytes before it crashes. So the output or the video size has to be less than 2 gigabytes, and in its raw state without any codec, you're looking at about maybe 4 or 5 minutes in length. And that's basically how long the video should be anyway, but that's beside the point. With this lossless codec, you're probably going to get closer to the 9 to 10 minute mark. But with this codec here, you're going to get closer to 2 to 3 hours before you reach that 2 gigabyte file size. So there's a big difference. And another point I want to make before we get on to the settings is right here, checking out the forum from Cam Studio. Go ahead and click on that real quick here. Now this is a very active forum, so you can get a ton of information out of here. The drawback to this, though, is that you cannot post any questions here unless you're a member, and it's by invite only. So before you have to use it, before you have to post any questions, I would say come on in here, apply for membership. It doesn't cost you anything, just a little bit of time to apply for membership. Basically, you're sending them an email saying, hey, invite me. And then it might take some time before you receive that invite. And they're kind of explaining that to you right here. So anyway, if nothing else, bookmark this site for reference. And like I said, as soon as you can, apply for membership. Okay, now then you just come on back here, download the program. After you've got the codec installed, download, install this, pretty straightforward stuff. And once you get all that stuff done, open it up. Now before we get into the various settings, I want to show you that right out of the box, Cam Studio will work. So without messing around with anything, just click on the record button. By the way, record, pause, stop. This changes the look of the interface. Click it once, that's what you get. Click it twice, that's what you get. Click it third time and you come back to normal. This one covers some of the annotations, and we're not going to get into that, but anyway, now you know what that covers. And this guy here toggles the record output from AVI, which I say leave it alone. Leave it at AVI, or you can click on that and record to SWF, which is kind of an older flash version. I would say don't mess with SWF at all, but it is there just in case you want to do what I say not to do. So leave it at AVI and you're good to go. Now then, let's go ahead and click on record, and see the little flashy corners there? That's the size out of the box. That's the size of your recording. And you see here, this guy right here, which you can move out of the way, tells you this is the size that's being recorded right now. We're up to about 30 megabytes, and we're only into, right now, 20 seconds, 40 megabytes. That's pretty outrageous. So let's go ahead and cut this now to stop. And by default, it's set up to save the recordings to your videos directory. So let's go ahead and give this a name, Test 01, right out of the box. And then the player comes up as soon as it's saved, and you can play it. Now by default, right out of the box, no audio. So that's one of the first things we're going to be changing. Another thing we're going to be changing is adjusting the codec. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the size of that file, because I think it's right around 50 megabytes. Let me see, right here we are, Test 01, almost 60 megabytes, and under 30 seconds in length. That's going to be a fat file if you want to get any kind of recording out of that at all. So let's come on back here and make some adjustments. Now let's first go through these real quick here. Pretty self-explanatory, but a record, pause, stop, just like we got right here. Region, by default it's fixed region. I would say leave it at that. Well, let's go ahead and click on this so we can make some adjustments to the size. Now my suggestion is to go HD, that's high def, and that's 1280 by 720. 1280 here, 720 in height. This is the size of the videos uploaded to YouTube, or the good ones anyway. But for the sake of this video, because that's what I'm recording right now, is 1280 by 720. I don't want this to be the exact same size. Let's go a little bit smaller. Say 640 by 360, and click OK. Now that's the region. Under options, this is where it gets fun. And this is where you can really do some personalization too. Now as far as adjusting the settings beyond what I'm going to be showing you here, I would suggest that you set a benchmark while you're doing your testing. Get you a notepad and pen and write down the different outputs, the different file sizes for those particular settings that you're going to be making here. And record the same thing. Like for example, record the Cam Studio page here. Scroll down a little bit, say about halfway. Read some text, read the same text, scroll down to the same spot on each one of your tests so that the only thing different is your settings. Everything else is the same. Use that as kind of a benchmark to go by. Okay, that said, let's get on back over to this guy here. Come on into options. First thing we want to do is record the audio, because again, by default, it's not recording. So go ahead and click on this one here, record audio from microphone. Come on back into options, then come to audio options for microphone. select the microphone that you have plugged into your computer, and if you don't have a microphone, my suggestion is USB type microphones, not the kind that has a little pointy plug-in like you might plug into your cell phone. Get a USB ranging anywhere between 10 to a couple $100. But I've got this one here plugged in, and that's what I'm going to go with. Recording format, the default, that's no good. So click on that button, get the drop down, select the 44.1K mono 16-bit, because a majority of people will put up with the nasty video if the audio is perfect. But if the video is perfect and the audio is nasty, chances are they're not going to be sticking around very long at all. So you really want to get the best audio recording possible. Compressed format, PCM, leave that as it is. Everything else on this page here is just fine the way it is. Just select the right microphone, change the recording format to 44.1K mono 16-bit. Everything else is fine. Click on OK. Come on back to options, video options. Change out this guy here because that's what's going to make your fat file. You don't want that. That's the default. You want to go for the FFD show codec that you already downloaded and installed. Right there. Don't worry about configuring. You can go in here and adjust all kinds of cool stuff. I mean, there's a ton of stuff in here you can mess with, but I would say for the sake of this video anyway, leave it at the default. Everything else on here is just fine the way that it is. That simple. Change your codec, click on OK, you're ready to roll. Now there are other options in here you can mess with, but for the sake of this video, that's all we need. Turn on the audio to microphone, adjust the audio output, come into video, change the codec, you're good to go. Click on record. And let's move that in here. There's our flashy corners there. And you can see here the time elapsed. We're going to shut it off at a little under 30 seconds so we can compare it to the 27-second part of the first video that we recorded. And let's come on up here, get ready to stop. And there. Okay, so we're pretty close anyway. Let's go ahead and save that as test 02. And by the way, this one should be bigger than the first one because this first one does not have audio on top of the video. This one, test 2, has both the audio and the video, which actually will make a much larger file size. And then this pops up as soon as it's saved. Click on play. Let's move that in here. There's our flashy. There it is. There. You can hear the audio. And you can see here. Okay. Now then, let's open up that folder and compare the two files. Ooh, check that out. Almost right at the same time, 27 seconds. But this one here with audio, under 3 megabytes. This one here is under 60 megabytes. So you can see the big difference there in just changing that codec. So those are the basic settings for your Cam Studio output. Stick with those and you'll do perfectly. Again, you can go in and play around with it, make other adjustments if you find the need to. But right out of the box, with these small adjustments, you can have a perfect recording using the free Cam Studio software. That's going to bring us to the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and you have a great day. This video is going to walk you through the use of a free screencast video recorder that is web-based, meaning that you do not have to download it to your computer, which also means that it's going to work either on PC or Macs. Now, there is an option for you to download the application if you'd like to do that, but you will have to manually update that downloaded version every time that new versions are released. The name of this free screencasting tool, if you haven't guessed yet, is Screencast-O-Matic, and you can get there by typing screencast-o-matic.com in your browser bar here, and you can put in either with or without the dashes, doesn't matter, because they own both domains, and you'll just end up back at this particular page. Anyway, once you're here, you've got two options. The free option, if we scroll down here, you can see the comparison between the two. The free option gives you these options here, basically allowing you to record and publish up to a 15-minute video. And the pro option, at the time of this recording anyway, is $15 a year. Pretty darn inexpensive considering what all you get with this. And there is no maximum record time, and you can see all the additional options here. The biggest option, in my opinion, for going pro, which again, $15 a year is nothing, is that your videos are not branded with the Screencast-O-Matic logo. You can have your logo on there. And I guess there is a maximum because it says right here you got up to 2 hours per upload. And 2 hours is a pretty long video. I'm guessing that would be more along the lines of recording webinars and the like. So you can see here the comparison between the two. And if we scroll back up to the page here, you do have to have an account to log in, but again, it's totally free. And if you click on login, that'll bring you to the registration page or the login page if you've already got an account here. Let's go ahead and register real quick. I'm going to put in my email twice, password twice, check the box that you agree to their terms of service, and then click on the register button. I'm going to pause the video here just for a second and then click on register. Now you can see that you're logged in whenever your email address is up here in the top right. And at this point you can just start your recording by clicking on Start Recording. And here, by the way, is where you can download the application to your computer and launch it from there. And you get these little warnings that pop up. Now I am in the Chrome browser, so you might get different warnings, if you will, on different browsers. But let's go ahead and close this guy out here. And then on this one here, you want to click on this box here that you accept the risk and you want to run this application. And you get this guy popping up again. Let's go ahead and close him out. Run applet. And then we have this guy pop up here, and this is our recording area right here. As you can see right now, we're not recording, but you start the recording by hitting this red record button here. Let's go ahead and get this guy a little bit more onto the screen here. As you can see, you can do that just by hovering over the center area here where you get the 4 arrows in your cursor, and just left click, hold, and drag it to where you want. And you can also further adjust it by clicking on these here. You can also adjust the screen size here with some presets. And as far as the microphone, you can select various microphones if you have different ones on your computer set up. But right now I've got the primary sound capture driver. This is one of my microphones here. I'm going to go ahead and select that one. And if you got a webcam you want to record from, you can do that here. And at this point, let's go ahead and start recording. Get our countdown, 3, 2, 1, go. There is our recording. And a nice red border here so you can see what is being recorded. You got the timer right here with a limit of 15 minutes, which really in most cases is plenty, especially if you're recording for a tutorial or a support issue, or even for videos you're going to be selling. Okay, let's go ahead and click on done. Then you get this to pop up here, and you can preview it by clicking on and a nice red the play button here so you can see what is being recorded. Go and pause that. And again, this is the free version here, so you don't have a lot of the editing options over here to the right. But right now you can publish to Screencast-O-Matic, publish to YouTube, or publish to video file, which basically is just downloading it to your computer. And once you click on that, you have the option of choosing MP4, AVI, FLV, or GIF. Myself, I would go with either MP4 or AVI because those are a higher quality output than what you would get from the Flash or the FLV or the GIF. Besides that, with these guys here, you can always convert these later on to FLV. And you can also choose the output size here. You wanted to add some notes. Again, this is the video file that you're downloading. If you had something like you're wanting to upload this to Screencast-O-Matic, you would want to title it, add a description, and if you've got various channels, then you can select the one that you want this particular video to be uploaded to. And it all would kind of boil down to the purpose behind the video. Were you recording it for a support issue or a frequently asked question, in which case a lot of this stuff doesn't really matter because you're only going to show it to either one person or it's going to be on your site for answering questions. If you're going to be recording this video for posting it on your site, then yeah, you definitely want to be thinking about search engine optimization as you're filling out these blanks here. But all this stuff is pretty self-explanatory here. Once you get all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, come on down here and click on Upload to SOM. And you've got the process taking place here where it's encoded first and now it's uploading to your account. Then once it's uploaded, it gives you this cool little link here where you can either left click on it and go to that video, or you can left click here and as it says in the little pop up there, copy link to clipboard. Then you can come on back to your browser, paste it, and go. And here's the video. Go. There is our recording. And a nice red border here. And that's going to bring us to the end of this video on the walkthrough for Screencast-O-Matic. Thanks for watching, and you have a great day.